When I was at school, I wasn't very academic. I didn't really understand what studying was about. Mainly because I thought I was studying things that actually weren't going to be conducive to me and what I'm going to need when I'm older. I have no idea why I thought that, but this is what I was thinking at the time. The things that I was studying in geography and history and aspects of mathematics, I just didn't really understand why I need to study them. So, as an adult now, there are certain gaps in my knowledge. I accept, I admit. And there's certain things that I just didn't bother to study. There are certain things that I didn't realise I studied and actually realised, like for once, when I was doing some carpentry work, I realised how to use the Pythagoras theory. I remembered it all. And there's things stored in my mind which maybe at some point in my life I'll actually get to use. But the key thing here is this, is why do we need knowledge? Well, I felt that I can get by with life, and I have got by. I've utilised the skills that I've got in life, and I thought I'm okay. But my general philosophy of life has always been very limited in respect to what I've studied. I've had my own ideas and interpretations, but I wasn't able to study. Even as an adult, I've been very limited in what I can study. And one of the biggest problems I've got a learning disability called dyslexia, which means I sometimes have, well not sometimes, I always have trouble remembering things. So if I want to learn a mantra, it's a nightmare. Unless I'm going to use that mantra 2 or 3 times every day, then it will go. It will just fizzle away. It's like it disappears. Even if I learn it, a few days later, it's absolutely gone. And even if I do know a mantra, and say I'm doing a mantra, say for instance I'm doing Mahaprasad mantra before having prasadam, if someone interrupts me or there's a distraction, I end up having to start again. My mind just goes into a total fizzle. So I've got certain limitations in respect to studying, and I accept that. That's life. That's life, and this is what I've had up till now. And more recently, if I was reading, I would read a verse, say from the Bhagavad Gita. I started reading the Bhagavad Gita 3 years ago. I was reading a verse, finished it, went on to the next verse. I didn't even remember the last verse. I didn't have that mental capacity to remember what I was doing, what I was studying. But something has changed. Something phenomenal has changed. You see, 6 months ago, I started to read again, but this time under the guidance of my spiritual master. I went to him and said, look, I want to read the Srimad Bhagavatam. What's your advice? And he gave me a little bit of advice. He didn't give me instruction by instruction, he just gave me an overall guidance. And I started to read it, and something had changed. Something very significant changed. Not just by what he had said, but it was prompted, and it was very, very, very good guidance. And he represents the Lord. And I realised that the Lord had changed something in me. My intellect and my intelligence had slightly shifted. Just slightly. And now, over the last 6 months, when I've been reading one verse at a time, I'm actually understanding it, and I'm recalling it. And it's beautiful. It's like filling all these blanks. I've got lots of blanks from past readings that just mean nothing. But now, it's like a puzzle. Each piece is slotting into place. So what's happened? You see, I'm reading today the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 2, and Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that we need to have knowledge, we need to have intelligence, because then we can understand the phenomenon of life and the spiritual world beyond it. And what I'm learning is this: through serving the Lord, and my main service has been doing seva in the deity kitchen and in campus preaching seva, but the other main service I've been doing is chanting the Lord's name through jap. And through chanting and some reading, but not in-depth reading, just reading to get by, and that's all it was to get by, to say that I've been reading and understand that I've been reading, but not understanding it all of these combined together, all of a sudden started to create a shift in me, that the Lord has given me a different capacity. He's given me a different ability to study now. And not only has he given me different capacity to study, he's given me different techniques to utilize. So what happens is, like for instance, I've just read this verse from the Bhagavad Gita, and this Bhagavad Gita as it is, as translated by Srila Prabhupada, chapter 7, verse 2. So I've just read it, and then after I read it, I then do an audio recording to give my understanding of how it relates to my life. And this is what I find very, very, very useful. I'm showing a very, very good tip here, I hope. Is I don't just do a memory call of what I've read, but I look at how does this verse relate to my life or society as a whole. And once I've done an audio recording, I get it transcribed, and then I can have a look at it, and then I then ask for a reflection, some guidance as to whether I've understood the verse right. And then I do this video recording like I'm doing today. Now this video recording isn't a word for word of what I did on the audio recording. It's just another stepping stone to me expressing what I feel and what I understand of this verse, which has led me to doing this recording here with you today. So the Lord has given us just a little bit more capacity to understand more about how to read, how to study, what I'm reading, and how it relates to life. My life, society, my understanding of my relationship with the Lord, the love for the Lord. And it's very, 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 very beautiful. And this is what the Lord is explaining to us. Day by day, moment by moment, he improves our level of intelligence. He gives us an opportunity to actually learn a little bit more based on our current functionality. So he only gives us within our capability, our capacity. And if we study within our capacity, then we can thrive. But it's when we try to do too many things or too hard of things at one time is where we struggle. I'll give you an example. About, must be 10 years ago, I decided that I'm going to do a BA honours degree as a mature student. I decided I'm going to do sports sciences. I've got onto this course based on not my qualifications from the past, but my life experiences. 57 years worth of life experiences, and they allowed me to enroll in this course. But before long, I was struggling. And the reason why I was struggling was this. I had to learn advanced sciences, but I didn't have the basic sciences from my school education. I must have been daydreaming, as my teacher used to say, for most of the classes. So I was then having to learn basic sciences as well as advanced sciences all at the same time, and it just got overwhelming. It was just too challenging. I put my foot into too deep a water. I'd gone over and beyond my capacity. And what I'm learning now is this, is what I'm doing is based on what the Lord is guiding me to do, and therefore it's accessible. And this is the beauty. He not only gives us more knowledge and intellect and intelligence and some mental capacity and memory, but he also shows us how to do it by holding us hands and making sure that whatever we're doing is within our current capacity, which he keeps on expanding and expanding. So the question to you is this: have you been challenged when you've been studying, or whether you're studying now? Are you trying to do something beyond what you can do or what was beyond what you could do? Do you feel you would like the opportunity to somehow understand how you can possibly study and gain knowledge that's going to give you a better understanding of whatever course you're doing, or work you're studying, or skill you're learning, or just to understand more about life, and even more about Lord Krishna and your relationship with him? And this is beautiful. I can't believe I'm actually even talking about it, because I did not have this capacity in the past. And just to give you how bad I was in academic, I was always in the bottom 4 of my class for my whole childhood. That's how much I was challenged in life. Now, I am actually able to feel like, okay, I've got a better understanding, just a little bit better understanding. I've got a little bit more knowledge. I've got a little more capability, even to be able to express this with you. It's nothing that I could have done in the past. So, do you feel that you would like to explore a little bit more, delve a little bit deeper, understand a little bit more about yourself, expand your own knowledge and your intellect intelligence, maybe understand more about who you are? Follow. Ask a question. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.